I do not believe that we are able to adapt to the rate of changes that we will have in the 21st century. If we think about the US Atlantic coast, 46% of the GDP is located along the Atlantic coast. Trillions of dollars of our economies, populations, all of these rely upon healthy coastal landforms, and therefore we must better understand how sea level is going to change in the future and how our coastlines are going to respond. Sea level rise, even in the smallest amount, can have devastating effects. Sea level rise causes water to move inland, that causes destructive erosion, that causes the contamination of our aquifers for drinking water, our agricultural land. Sea level rise causes coastal wetlands to get inundated, causing there to be a loss of valuable habitats for fish, for plants, for animals. Sea level rise increases the impact of a storm surge, making them more powerful, making the surge go further inland. And then millions of people live along the coastline. Sea level rise will cause areas to be flooded, people to have to relocate, small low-lying islands to be lost. So sea level rise is a very important question for society, but it is not an easy question to answer. If you're going to reliably predict the future, then you must not only understand the sea levels of the present, you must also understand the sea levels of the past. Now is important because we're seeing sea level rising at rates that we have not seen for maybe 5,000 to 6,000 years. The last time we had rates of sea levels that we are recording now was a period in the Earth's climate when it was recovering from the last glaciation.
When people hear about sea level rise, they tend to hear the global numbers. And the global numbers are actually better than what the New Jersey numbers are. New Jersey has the perhaps unlucky luck of being a place that was once glaciated. In other words, before humans were around, glaciers were across much of the state. As the glaciers came down into New Jersey, they literally pressed the ground down from their sheer weight. What that did is the land that wasn't glaciated, that is the eastern parts of New Jersey, were lifted up as those areas around it were pushed down because of the properties of the Earth and the Earth's surface. As those glaciers retreated, and they have now retreated, what happens is the land that the glaciers were on top of have sprung back up, and much as before, there's a countervailing impact of the ground that wasn't glaciated dropping. So it's called subsidence.
The ocean is the major component of the water cycle, and if you just tweak that, if you move that a little bit, it has big impacts on life on Earth. What we've developed is a new way to go to sea, a new way to sample the ocean, where humans don't have to be put in peril. The sea is a very dangerous place, especially during a storm like a hurricane. We use robots to fly beneath the waves and look at what the subsurface ocean is doing. See how this ocean responds, how this unseen world responds to these severe weather events. And so by having these observations in place, we can better understand how rapidly the ocean changes during these storms. If we understand how and why that's occurring, we can make a better forecast, ultimately inform people many more days in advance of what to expect and what to do in response. We're going to see different distributions of water. We're going to see more droughts in some places, more heavy rains in other places, change our agricultural patterns, more storms. And the storms is where people are mostly impacted because it's the storms that kill people. The world is changing, And it's changing at a time scale that is going to impact the lives of people we know. It is going to impact the lives of our children that are alive right now, that are in school, and that are going to grow up through their professional lives. They're the ones that are going to have to make these decisions.